Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Khula' is a form of annulment of a marriage where it is brought forward from the woman's side. So normally the right of divorce is for the man, but if a woman is unhappy in the marriage and there is due reason for that, then she is not trapped in the marriage and she has a right to ask for a khula'. And especially if there is Islamic grounds for it, then it should be granted. And if there isn't worthy grounds and she's just asking to get out of the marriage for no good reason, then there is a warning against that from the Prophet ﷺ, as narrated in the hadith. So the basis of this is that in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, is that a woman was unhappy in her marriage life. She said, "Oh Rasulullah, my husband, I don't hold anything of his character or his religion to complain about. لا أعيب عليه شيء من دينه ولا من خلقه ولكني أكره الكفر بعد الإيمان." But I would hate to fall into disbelief after faith. Now disbelief here means to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a Muslim, we should be always obeying Allah. So she was in a situation where she could not bear to fulfill her marital relations with her husband anymore. She lost all feeling and she feared that in failing to fulfill her marital obligations that she would be committing sin. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he said, he had offered to you a garden, a farm, an orchard as a marriage gift. Are you happy to hand that back to him? She said yes. And the Prophet ﷺ granted her the khula'. In a narration, he asked the husband and he agreed to the khula'. So this shows that it's very important for both the husband and wife to be happy in their relationship. And it shows that they should do what is necessary to make sure that the husband and wife are happy in that relationship and that no one is trapped in a relationship, especially if they are, if cannot fulfill their marital obligations anymore, genuinely. And so there is a recourse, there's a way out, there's options for the husband in divorce and for the woman in asking for khulu'. Sometimes it is, the husband is not, doesn't want that. He loves his wife, wants to stay with his wife, but she doesn't love him. She has lost feelings for him. We can't force people to stay together, they don't want to be together. It's a very touchy subject, very sensitive subject. A lot of people feel that it's not fair, but just like it wouldn't be fair for a husband to be forced to stay with a woman he doesn't like, as well, it's not fair for a woman to be forced to stay with a man that she has no feelings towards and she doesn't have any fulfillment in her marriage, especially if she, obviously we have to be patient and we have to try to make things work. You may not always feel the best towards your spouse, but try to make things work. But sometimes it reaches a stage where absolutely all feelings have been lost. And so there is recourse for that. And we notice here that she said, I don't criticize anything of his religion or his character. So had she had a reason to hold something against him that he's religiously corrupt, for example, he doesn't fulfill his prayers, he doesn't fast, indulges in major sins like drinking alcohol, taking drugs, gambling, and this affecting the marriage and the family. So this is a religious reason, sometimes out of character. Sometimes his character is unbearable. He's maybe rude, maybe swears, maybe is very stingy, makes their life, nowadays they class it under some forms of domestic abuse, So if there is that, then that would be sometimes grounds for that. And at the end of the day, a person has to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that they're doing right by Allah. To ask for a khulu' or divorce without proper grounds, then this is a form of oppression. And there is narrations that say of a stern warning on the Day of Judgment for someone that divorces or does khulu' without due grounds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectify our affairs. And subhanallah, sometimes things happen in a relationship, whether it's from the side of the husband or the wife, that they decide to leave and the other party isn't happy with that. But that's sometimes part of the test of life. And sometimes we have to, if we try to solve the problem, if we can't solve the problem, we just have to accept that this is something Allah has tested us with, to be patient and to move on.